Today is day one of packing up our homestead to move to Alaska. We're gonna move into our cabin. We are beginning the huge, enormous undertaking to move to a homestead with essentially zero. The big question that people have been asking: what is going to happen with your farm, the farm that we've been at for the last 7 years now? What's going to happen to it? Are you guys selling it? People want to know what's going to happen with this place. So let me fill you in. This episode of Homesteady is brought to you by Reliance magazine and Backwoods Home magazine. If you're a homesteader, farmer, or if you're a homestead dreamer and you want to build up your library of knowledge, consider subscribing to Reliance and Backwoods Home magazines. In every issue of their magazine, you learn a variety of homestead skills, knowledge, everything from gardens to foraging and canning, butchering. There's recipes, beautiful photos. In a world where we are constantly scrolling on our cell phones and getting distracted and not really having any new knowledge or skills to show for it when we're done, consider slowing down, taking a little time this spring. Subscribe to Backwoods Home and Reliance magazine. We have an awesome discount for you in the description below for Backwoods Home magazine and Reliance magazine. Check it out. This farm here is not our farm. It's actually a family farm that we have been co-managing a part of for the last 7 years. It's a family farm that's not even owned by us. We're not in that family trust. It's the generation before Kay. So Kay's dad, her aunts and uncles, they are the co-owners of this family farm. And we have just had a part of the family farm that we've been grazing and managing. Grazing, managing, farming, that all requires a lot of stuff. And over the last 7 years of managing this family farm and grazing it and working it, we've acquired a lot of things. If you've ever farmed, you know it comes with a lot of equipment and tools and supplies and stuff that you just can't get rid of because you might use it someday. And in addition to all that farm supplies, we have been living here with our big family. There are 9 of us. We have little kids, we have hobbies. There's a lot of stuff that we've acquired over the years. And now we have to go through all of that and decide what is actually the most important. What should we bring to our homestead in Alaska that has nothing? And we can't just say bring it all because we can only bring what we can fit on 1 or 2 trailers, depending on how many we take out.
A lot of this stuff stays with this farm, so that's good, like the big implements. Still a lot.
I have a little hack. Anytime I am presented with a job like this, usually it's cleaning, but anytime there's a lot of stuff and I'm super overwhelmed and I'm just staring at a mountain of things to go through, it stresses me out to no end, and I get into fight or flight. I gotta run. This is what I do. I start in a corner, because when you put your head in the corner, you can't see everything else around you that needs done. So I just look at okay, this is the corner. There's one thing there, an old generator. I actually have to get this generator out. I have to see if it still works, because I want to take that generator to our off-grid cabin. So I'll start in the corner and I'll work my way out of a corner, and I find that helps with the overwhelm. We have been managing the family farm, and what that has meant is a section of this farm we've been responsible for grazing. It meant some mowing or some maintenance or that sort of thing. We've been doing that. Most of what we've done has been actually grazing. We've had our big group of cows, our big herd of cows and sheep and goats, and we've been rotationally grazing this for years now. What was being rotationally grazed will wind up being mowed, and that's the biggest change. There will not be any livestock run on the part of the property that we've been rotationally grazing, but we don't own it at all. So with us leaving, nothing changes with the family farm estate. It still is owned by the same people who owned it the last 7 years. It's not going up for sale. No one else is getting it. It's staying as is. We are fortunate because when we go to our Alaska homestead, this building is still in the family. So we're actually going to use one bay here to store things that we're not taking with us because we can only take so much across 2 countries. So we're going to make some room here to store the things we can't take. We're going to start going through all our stuff to figure out what we can and need, what we really need. And that's a hard one because we have a homestead in Alaska now that has 0. It's just a cabin. There's no infrastructure for animals, nothing. And we have to figure out, all right, we have limited space to drive things out there. What most precious things should we be taking, and what are we going to leave for later? Drink it more. Stir more.
Now straighten up, straighten up.
Straighten up. When you look at this pole barn, there's a lot of stuff in here and you could think like, oh man, that is so overwhelming to handle all this stuff. But fortunately, most of this stuff actually isn't ours. So we've been using the tractor and the UTVs and the mowers, but they stay here. They're not ours. They're not coming with us. We actually don't need to care for like probably 75% of what's in this pole barn. It's gonna stay. It's not quite as terrifying as it looks for us. About 25% of the stuff is ours and that's gotta go. 25% terrifying. There are other family members are managing different parts of the farm on other areas that we have been involved. All of the work that we did, the management that we did while we were here the last 7 years, it will all be covered by somebody. And in a future video in the series, we'll talk about our livestock and what plans we have for livestock. We got some shelves cleared. These are the shelves that we're gonna use to store the stuff that we want to keep but we can't take to Alaska. So we got that opened up. Now we got to do a couple more shelves. I want to start while we're
I'm famous.
With this project. I know there's going to be a bunch of questions with this whole big Alaska move and all the things that we're going to be doing. So if you are new to the channel, use the hashtag #AskHomesteady, all one word, in the comments below. Ask your questions that you have about our Alaska homestead, what we're planning on doing, you know, whatever questions you have about this whole big adventure that we're about to start on or have started on. And we'll start answering your questions in our upcoming vlogs as we're, you know, getting ready to ship off here. Over years and years and years, we're talking like 15 years of working with livestock, we have accumulated lots and lots and lots of electric fencing products. We are going to be downsizing from like a big farm operation to more of a smaller scale homestead that just feeds our family and doesn't produce extra for business. And so we are going through and we're choosing stuff that works the best, and the rest of the stuff we're gonna be selling because it's not as good. The Kencove netting I have found to be the absolute best netting products out there. The reason why, they're made for ease, the feet on this electric netting product. Some companies will use all metal feet and they get bent and warped really easy, where the Kencove uses these fiberglass rods with an attached little metal rod. And when that thing gets wonky, you can replace this. So it's just a much better system. It works a lot better. They last longer. They go in the ground easier. Some other stuff we're going to be taking, we'll be taking some of our step-in posts, some of our fiberglass posts, all this stuff we have accumulated. The Kencove stuff's coming with us. And I have like electric fencing lists that you can go through the stuff that we like best. If you have any kind of need for electric fence at your farm, I'll have links below to Kencove. One of the big differences with this one of the big differences with this move versus the last time. Last time we were like selling that farm.
Yeah, we sold our house. We sold the 10 acres it was on.
Yeah, everything was like, okay, either take it with you or kiss it all goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's different. We're not saying goodbye to this place
Right,
forever.
yeah, it's not like selling it
We're
all.
able to keep some of our stuff here in the pole barn. We've just got a section that we're going to keep for ourselves to just keep some of the
For
stuff.
everyone who loves that beautiful green barn.
Yeah, you'll probably see it again, and who knows what kind of animals will be in it someday. But for now, we're headed off for a different adventure, and we're kind of putting some of our favorite. We're trying to hold on to a couple things that we don't want to take with us, but don't want to get rid of. But we are trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. So you have a trick. We're going through all our stuff, trying to figure out what are we keeping, what are we selling. We have a big pile right there. That's our sell pile. Selling all that. We're keeping only what you see, like what will be on these shelves is what we're keeping. We're trying to be super minimal.
Selective. Yeah, which is hard. It's such a mental exercise. Every time you pick something up. And I can't do the Marie Kondo, does this bring me joy?
Oh no.
Because the farm stuff, it's never been about what brings me joy, but will I use it? And if you're a farmer or homesteader, you can use everything forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like
People in Alaska, like they don't get rid of anything. Do we take that mentality here and just take everything with us? But we can't.
we just can't fit it. Rolls of fencing do not bring me joy. I
No,
hate
it doesn't
fencing.
bring me joy.
But I'm not going to get rid of it. Sorry, Marie Kondo doesn't raise chickens.
But even the stuff.
She probably does now, though. She's probably got chickens.
For me, it's right now, and I saw this somewhere. This is not my idea. Would I keep this if it was covered in poop?
This
So,
thing's always
this
covered in poop.
We keep.
And we still managed to keep that one around, so.
But, like, we haven't even gotten into the house stuff. That'll be harder.
Yeah. It's really helpful, though. Like, you know what? If that was covered in poop,
Would I take the time to wash it?
No, I don't.
Keep
I don't
it?
really need that. I don't really want that. Whereas if it's a really important tool that we're going to need at the Alaska cabin or something very important to us, like
You
we'll
get to
keep you
come.
if you're covered in poop.
You do.
Yeah.
You get to come. Oh.
Our goal today was to clean off 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. And these 4 shelves, clean them off so that we could use them to store anything that we're not taking to the Alaska homestead, but we want to keep at the family farm for safekeeping for someday in the future. One more spot right here. Let's get this done. Power through and we're done for today. This is real. It's really there. I didn't green screen. There we go. Beautiful, clean area for us to fill with stuff, but hopefully a lot less stuff because we're trying to simplify, we're trying to downsize and get ready to get to Alaska.
This is funny because this is like 15 years of hobbies or things we've tried because we thought we would do awesome.
My aquaponics graveyard is in the back there.
Your little minnow bubbler thing.
My minnow bubbler bait fish thing.
Lots of camping stuff we inherited. Some dove cages I experimented with.
Oh, the dove cages are in here. Yeah, a lot of livestock, hobby, hunting, fishing, a lot of aquaponics equipment.
Boiling down what we actually want to do going forward.
We're like, you know, we've made it through halfway of our life. We know what we like to do and what we're not good at.
Aquaponics.
I'm not growing any food with aquaponics anytime soon. I'm gonna go catch some salmon.
The minnows never really work.